fear this new challenge. Rather, like a true warrior, I will rise to meet it. I am Vegeta! I have no limits!
What's going on, guys? This is Joe with DeProf Gaming, coming at you for a little bit of a different kind of a video today. I've been thinking about doing these for a little while, and I just figured, why not? Let's get it done, right? So this is Q&A Volume 1. What I'm going to be doing is answering your questions from things like the Discord server, any emails that you guys send me, comments that you leave on videos, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm going to be looking at to be putting into these videos so that I can answer your questions and you guys can get to know me a little bit more than just a guy that does some doc and YouTube content. One of the questions that I get a lot is, where does my channel name come from? DeProf Gaming. Now, DeProfio, D-E-P-R-O-F-I-O, is my last name, and that's where it really all came from. I wanted it to be something that was easily identifiable as something that's associated with me specifically, because you never know where your endeavors are going to take you, right? This could lead to a lot of different things, and if it leads to something good, I want it to be associated with me. That's really all that came from. But one of the questions that came up was, what does my last name mean? I know that my last name is Italian. I know that in French, which is like an Italian or Latin root language, that D-E can mean of, P-R-O-F can mean professor, instructor, teacher, something like that. But when I did a quick Google search to try and figure it out, DeProfio is associated with a spiritual person who, I can't read my own writing, a spiritual person who relies on intuition for decision making, someone who has many talents, and intuitive to the feelings of others. And I'd have to say that's pretty accurate. I do rely on my gut to make a lot of decisions, and I can usually get a good read on people, so that one's spot on. Another question that I get a lot, I mean, I record a lot of my videos here in my home gym, is what kind of workouts do I do? Now, if you follow Oh the Hermanity, and you know about his fitness channel, Scott Herman Fitness, you'll probably know that I worked out with him for a little bit. We were training partners for about 6 months last year before he moved down to Florida, and we did a lot of different stuff. We did a push-pull legs program, his program Cheat and Recover, where you would overload for a certain number of reps and then you would cut the weight down drastically and then you'd do more volume for like almost like a superset. And if you don't know what a whole lot of that terminology means, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it here. That's something for another video. But something that I'm testing out and something that I might bring to this channel is a couple of my own programs. Some of you might know that I am a certified personal trainer. I got that on my birthday this last year so that I would always know when I need to renew my certification. And all of my programs that I've written so far are Dragon Ball Z oriented. So something that I'm trying right now, that I'm going to be maybe doing some updates on, is my Insane Power program. It's a full body 3-day-a-week program where you alternate workouts. Workout A is a heavy program, like a heavy day. So all the exercises of that, you're pretty much maxing out as much as you can. Workout B is a volume day. So you kind of bring the weights down about 20 to 30%, add more reps, and then see how that goes. You switch those off week over week. So heavy, volume, heavy, volume, heavy, volume is kind of how that works. If you guys want more information on that, just let me know down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to make a video explaining it, showing you guys what the movements are and those kinds of things. One of the other random questions that I got from the Discord was, what kind of allergies do I have? The only allergy that I am aware of is that I'm mildly lactose intolerant, and that only comes from like if I'm straight up drinking whole milk or eating ice cream. It messes with my stomach and it's not a good time. What other anime do I like? I like a lot of different anime, guys. I've watched Attack on Titan. I like it a lot. My Hero Academia is a big one, but I can't... I have to watch that one with my wife. If I watch beyond where we're at, she'll know, and that won't be a good thing. Yu Yu Hakusho, one of my all-time favorites. Dragon Ball Z, obviously. Trigun, It's an amazing anime. You guys need to watch it if you haven't. And there's a bunch more, and I could sit here and I could talk all day about anime, but we have a few more questions to get through. Since I've mentioned a couple of times that I am married, I had somebody ask me if I made any enemies prior to being married, and while I wouldn't necessarily say that I've made any enemies, I've certainly lost a few friends. And this is I'm gonna tangent for a second here, guys. Any of you that are in high school or college or around that age and you think that the group of friends that you're here with are going to be your friends forever and ever, that's not necessarily true, and to expect that is to set yourself up for some really bad times. People come in and out of your lives, and they're going to do that for their own reasons. And sometimes you might need to kick those people out of your lives so that you can better yourself. A lot of the people that I used to be around, a lot of the people that I used to hang out with, they didn't want what was best for me. They wanted what was best for them while I was around. And those two things started to not sync up anymore. I grew beyond, you know, the partying and the drinking to excess and all that stuff, so I just kind of bugged out. And that was that. Some of them I know like really aren't happy about that, and some of them really wanted to be a part of my life, but that's just not the direction that they could come with me. So it is what it is. And I don't want any of you guys to ever be afraid to make those hard decisions and to move forward. Don't let people hold you back. Realize your own potential. It's really important. What was my least favorite subject in school? Math. I'm not good at math. I mean, like, I can do the basics. I can do business math really well, right? So if you need to know what a 20% tip is on a $25 order, it's $5, I've got you covered. But anything more complicated than that, like when you start adding letters into a mathematical equation, I'm good. Like, tag me out, coach. I'm not doing that anymore. How would I make a Dragon Ball storyline? Now this one was kind of a weird one, but also really cool. For some of you that have been following me for a while, follow me on Twitch, that kind of a thing, you might know that I do some creative writing. That's what I have an education in. That's what I'm finishing my education in. So I would do a Dragon Ball storyline very differently than I think most people would. I would very much avoid the Goku saving the day thing, just because while Goku is a cool character and he has a lot more depth than someone like Superman, yeah, fight me about it. I don't think that he needs to be the star of every single arc. I think that there are a lot of other characters out there that could do some things a whole lot better, and not even necessarily better, that I think that deserve some more screen time. So again, I could get into this and talk about it for hours and hours, but we don't have that kind of time, and we have a couple more questions to get through. Who is my favorite Dragon Ball villain and why? Now I'm going to expand this out into Z. I actually think that one of my favorite villains was Cell. He did a lot of things very differently, right? He kind of does a lot of what Vegeta does, right? He wants to achieve his maximum potential, and he wants to fight the strongest opponent that he possibly can to test his new strength against somebody else. That's where the whole becoming perfect and making Gohan go Super Saiyan 2 came from. One of the videos that I've also done is what if Cell was in the Tournament of Power, because I think that Cell would have made a better choice to replace Majin Buu, specifically to replace Majin Buu, than Frieza. But if you want to know more about that, you got to check out that other video. I'll link to that in the description and in the end screen so that you don't miss it. What is my favorite transformation in Dragon Ball? Now, when I got this question, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution was not yet a thing. But I would have to say that that's my favorite transformation so far. I think that the name is kind of boring. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, yeah, that's cool, but it's still just calling it Super Saiyan, a color, and then an adjective to describe how it's different from the normal. I much preferred like the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan kind of a terminology that was going along with it, and that's what I still call it to this day in my head. When I read off of a card in Dokkan Battle, yeah, I'm gonna read off Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta because that's the name of the card, and I don't want to give you guys incorrect information. My dream job as a kid. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I went to school and I realized just how much reading and how much extra school and how much money that was going to cost, and I also realized how much it's not like what you see on TV. When you see lawyers on TV, they stand up and they go, "I demand the truth," you know, and they're talking about all this awesome stuff, But when you look at what the actual job of a lawyer is, it's doing a lot of reading, filing a lot of paperwork, and sending a lot of letters, and trying to resolve as much without conflict as possible. And while those are all good things to be doing, and we definitely need people that can do that, that's not for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this kind of helped you to get to know who I am a little bit more. If you want to submit some questions for the next Q&A video, you can do so at the email below. If you want to shout out DeProf Nation, like I know you all do, you can drop that in my email as well. I'll have that link in the description below. If you have not yet joined the Discord mega server, I encourage you to do so. We try to have a whole lot of fun there, and while it's something I've been slacking on, at least for this last week, we try to run some weekly challenges associated with a Dokkan battle, like running an event, clearing it in the fastest time, that kind of a thing. And if you do those things, and you have the fastest times, you get a special role for the week, which is the I'm the best, right? And then you remain in the Challenge Taker Hall of Fame for all of time. So thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching it and letting me talk for, like, you know, whatever the 12 minutes that it is, or that it has been for now. Stay awesome, be great, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.